Okay, so welcome everyone to episode 4 of the Life Coaching Mentorship series with Heather. This is season 2, and you all get a real behind the scenes look at what it's like to work with me as a life coach and business mentor over the course of 3 months. And it is a unpredictable, raw, messy, vulnerable journey as you are stepping into your new role as a professional coach and starting an online business. And so we just want to show the world what life coaching really looks like. So we are going to start off today's episode with a win from Heather to start us off on a positive note. So what are we celebrating today, Heather?
I made a new friend this week, so I want to celebrate that.
Oh, cool. Tell me a little bit more about your new friend.
Yeah, so I met her on this. We had like a meetup with this group that I'm in. It's called the Lions Team. We were told to reach out to 3 people in that group because we got broken up into little groups on this Zoom call. And so she was one that I really connected with. She's also a vegan. She's really into health and nutrition. She has 3 kids. So she's a mama. And yeah, I just really connected with her story. And so we met up at a coffee shop the other day and we just like hit it off and just like instant friends and already like creating a woman's like workshop to put on in May where we'll be like speaking. So, because we're both wanting to be like inspirational, motivational speakers. She's also a holistic health coach, which was really fun too. So we're both like, we really want to do that. That's like our ultimate goal. So we're like, let's just make it happen where we get to like have some platform to speak on. So yeah, so we just like had a lot of brainstorming and exciting things to create together. So.
Oh, that's so exciting to, be bringing that positive support into your life. And I'm curious, Heather, why is this such a big win for you to create a new friend like this?
Because right now I don't have friends that I hang out with like very often at all since COVID happened and everyone's so busy. And my friends live in different cities than I do. And they're all like, a lot of them are parents too. So like the timing just never seems to work out. So having female friends to actually like physically hang out with, that's a goal of mine, is to create more women friends and like women that I can actually like hang out with on a weekly basis or on a monthly or something, because I need that support in my life. And that's just so important to me in my growth. And yeah, it's something that I just dream about, is like having female friends, because that's just been kind of a challenge for me, like since graduating high school, like developing sisterhood friendships that are, like in high school you have your tribe, your people, and you hang out with every weekend and talk on the phone all the time. And then after like I graduated from high school, I really lost that like community connection with my women tribe. And so I've been like doing my best to recreate that in my adult life, but it's been challenging to like find women that are as committed to this relationship as I am, and wanting to like get together often and actually like be in each other's presence and do things together. So yeah, that's like a dream for me.
Well, you must be a powerful manifester. The fact that, you're craving this friendship from, spiritual, like-minded women, and the fact that this woman showed up in your life. So it just goes to show how powerful you already are. And I'm on the same path and journey as you, Heather. I went to Phoenix this weekend to hang out with some of my more spiritual college friends, and it was so refreshing to, like, we did a full moon releasing ceremony. We went to this vegan chocolate shop in Sedona, and just got to like talk the talk. And I feel so like energized and lighthearted now. And a lot of times we think that building a successful coaching business is like, okay, you sit down in front of your computer and you reach out to leads and you do discovery calls and you work on creating your program, and like all that stuff is important. But then this stuff that you're doing, outside of your business time is so important as well, right? As surrounding yourself with the right people and letting support in on a deeper level. So that makes me really happy to hear that you're doing that outside of your business, working on your business as well.
Yeah, it's so energizing. So I'm glad that you got to have that this week too, and just recharge, because that does like charge our batteries when we get to be around our sisters and our friends, and we get to like, catch up and chit chat. It's just so much fun, and it gives like so much life to me personally. Did you go to Chocolate Tree? Is that the place you went to in Sedona?
That's the
Oh my gosh, we love that place. Yeah, we went there like 3 or 4 times when we were in Sedona, and we just like bought everything. It was so good.
I know. I just wanted to buy out the whole store.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
Yeah, and then right, we also get to bring this energy in towards our client sessions as well, right?
Right.
We're feeling good. Our clients are going to feel good. So it's important stuff to have, people we enjoy hanging around with, and that are on, the same path as us.
Yeah, it was so exciting to find another woman who's like deep into the holistic like health as I am. So we got to like nerd out, and that's just like, so exciting when you get to speak the same language with somebody. It's like,
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about commitments from last week. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Microsoft To-Do app where we keep all your commitments. So the first one was, so I'm just going to read them all off. So there was 4 things. So look into the course platform from Tony Robbins. Second was work on module 1, and you had a due date for that for March 8th. Third was write out your offer for like, that would go on the sales page. And then the 4th was complete the super goal number 2 in the big picture plan. So let's, kind of go through each one and see what's working and what's not working right now. So let's start out with the top one. So did you get a chance to look into that course platform?
I did not, because I actually forgot like what we were looking at with it. So I needed to go back to our video and rewatch it and see what we were even talking about. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot. Cause I was asking John Paul like before the call, I'm like, okay, I need to get this task done and I need to talk to him about it. But then I was like, not clear on, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to, I don't remember. Cause he's like, I don't know what you're asking me. And I'm like, I don't remember what we were talking about. So yeah, I think I need to be reminded of what I was looking up. I think it was like how to, because it's called Mastermind Platform. And so I can create a course on there. And I think what we were wanting to know is if I can, because I'm going to use it in my coaching call, like my coaching program too. So like how my clients would access it.
Right.
Is that what we were trying to figure out?
Yep, you're correct. So because you're creating weekly modules for your coaching program, you're going to need a way to deliver that content. And so I know that you were interested in looking at different course platforms as a way to, be able to deliver your information. But we also talked about starting really simple and easy and messy to begin with. And you can do something just as easy as like creating a Google Doc and then emailing it to your client each week, just to like get something going. So that's what we were talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Cause we've already like paid for the mastermind. So I already have that to use and to like plug stuff in there. I guess I need to look up whether it'll probably give me a link to give to them. I imagine that I would have a link that I could send them to, but I'll have to look deeper into that. So,
okay. Yeah. So let's keep that goal open then.
Yeah, I do.
So you can look into that this week and get clarity on if you have that, or if you have to pay for that, or if you want to like not even worry about that right now. But yeah, so keep working on that. And then, so how are things going with working on module 1 for your program?
Pretty good. I've actually got it all like outlined. I actually got module 1 and 2 outlined. And then, so I just need to go in and like each bullet, like go in and like get real specific under each bullet point. Um, yeah. And so what I want to do is I want to like record video in each module. So, so everything that like is being written in these, that I'm writing on the document right now, it's all going to be like spoken. So, a lot of them are just bullets for me, cause I can just like, I know what to say, just, it's just already in my head ready to what I want to say. But there are some things I want to make sure that are said. So I would just fine tune what that needs to be. So that's, yeah, going pretty well.
Good. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there, do you feel still good about keeping the deadline for that as March 8th, or did you want to move that up at all?
I think I'll keep it at March 8th. That should be, yeah, they'll have it done by then.
Okay, perfect. Well, that's amazing. It
Yeah.
makes me so happy to see you start to work on this, and
Yeah. Yeah, it was,
what happened.
yeah, I was nervous at first, but then I sat down and then stuff finally started to come, and then it actually felt fun. But at first I was just like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
This is like, I was just having so much resistance to doing mental work. Yeah, it just kind of feels overwhelming trying to create course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to sit with that.
And I know that you're prone to the overwhelm story. I am as well. And something that I found helpful is when I was listening to Elizabeth Gilbert's podcast, Magic Lessons, which if you haven't checked it out, it's absolutely amazing, because it's all about your, she's the one who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and it's all about like your inner creative and artist. And she says, just, if there's like a project that you're feeling really resistant to, or you're like, ugh, I don't want to do this, or it feels like it's going to be so much work. She's like, just sit down for 10 minutes. Right. And I think she's probably talking about writing, but so I've taken that rule for everything in my life. And I'm like, okay, Krista, just sit down and start on it for 10 minutes. And if that's all you do, at least you got 10 minutes done. But what ends up happening is you end up doing way more than 10 minutes because you start to get in the flow. Is that, did you find that was true for you with that?
Yeah, that definitely resonates. And that's like a lot of what happened was once I finally like sat down and allowed myself to like feel all the resistant emotions that were coming up, and I let my inner child like throw its fit, throw its tantrum, because it's like, I don't want to do this right now. I don't think I can do this, all those things. I let that kind of move and do its thing. And then I'm like, okay, what could I do here? And so I started, just like writing module 1, and then I, where would I start? If this is, just like asking my questions to myself, like, if I were going through this program, what would I want to experience in there? And then also, what's most important for me to take the person through first, like knowing, like just having in mind that they don't know anything, that they're a blank slate. So like starting from scratch, because it's best to just like explain everything as if they're a beginner in all of it. So so I was kind of going into that space, and I was able to get a starting point. So that was good.
Good, beautiful. That's exciting. Okay. And then writing out the offer, how's things going with that?
So my partner like created a document for me a while back, and wrote a lot of stuff out for it. I just need to go in and fine tune it, and like put, my words in there if I don't like what he's kind of written. So it's like, it's got structure there. It's like, there's a template. I just need to go in and fine tune it. I haven't yet though, but that is something I'd like to move over for this week to work on.
Perfect. Okay. Yep, we can do that. And then the fourth one, I know you completed it because you crossed it out. And if anyone wants to see what I'm looking at, this is what I do each week in this Microsoft To-Do app, is I put Heather's commitments in here, and then she can come in and cross them out, and it makes this really amazing dinging noise, which just like gives you this dopamine rush. So I really love it. And it's a great form of accountability. So let's do a quick share screen and show everyone what you did in your big picture plan. I think I was looking at it. You
Okay.
did an amazing job with it.
Thank you.
So for everyone who watched episode 1, they saw us create this first super goal that Heather wanted to get clear on her ideal audience and client. And then we decided her second super goal was for her to build out her coaching program and course for her private clients. So she created her deadline of May 1st. She figured out why she wants this. She said, I want this so that I have a framework to take each client through to get them results quicker. I also want this so I can feel more mentally organized and I can have a professional program to offer to women who are ready to feel better. So I love that. That's a powerful why. She said, my biggest obstacles would be self-doubt when it comes to writing out the literature for the program. I feel like I have a mental and creative block right now. Another obstacle is procrastination, dragging my feet. So we kind of already talked about that, and sounds like just sitting down and working on it actually is what helps. And instead of working on it little by little, I notice I tend to put things off until the last minute and then feel overwhelmed. So I don't know if that'll be part of our coaching quest today or not. We will see. And then she figured out her team here. So all these lovely, amazing people, myself included.
Yeah.
And then her weekly commitments to start to work towards achieving this goal. So at least one needle moving activity daily. I love that. That's a really creative way to say it. Daily meditation, journaling, getting exercise daily, and recording at least one video a week. And is that for like your free content? Or is that the video for like your
Well,
module?
it could be anything really. I think it's just creating some kind of video. So it could be for my modules, or it could be for content. It just depends on, I think, what I have going on.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, well, that sounds great then. One video a week, and you get to decide if it's, for the module or for your free content. When I say free content, that would be like, Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're deciding to do your marketing at. Okay, and then she's got her accountability plan here. So we're going to use Voxer throughout the week. That's what I use for my private clients to do check-ins. And then asking for support and accountability from her partner, John Paul. And then having her friend Alana check in on her progress. I love that you found these creative ways to use accountability in your life out. Obviously there's a lot of built-in accountability with our coaching relationship, but then also it's so important to have accountability with people outside of us too, because you and I aren't going to work together forever, as much as I would love to. Right? It's just not realistic. And so it's good to know, what are other ways I can get support outside of my coach.
Yeah.
And then she's got how she will celebrate when she finishes, and she will celebrate with close friends over some yummy vegan food. Love it. So great job on filling that out, Heather.
Thank you.
All right.
That was
fun. Good. I'm glad you had fun with that. Okay, let's dive into the coaching request today. So how can I best support you?
I think I would like support around like the procrastination and the mental. I feel like I have this mental creative block. I guess I've just lately been feeling this like swimming or tornado in my head. It just feels like chaos in my mind. And so every time I sit down to like do some kind of work on this, I just feel this like huge heaviness and this overwhelm and anxiety. Anxiety was coming up earlier today, like really heavy. And then all this self-doubt comes in, and it's like, I don't like believe I can do this. Like, so it's just like this really big block. And like, I do have the information, and I think I'm just so afraid of, like, this is what I was noticing today, is that I want to go look at what other people are doing and mimic them. I doubt my own ability to write anymore. Like, I doubt my ability to create a program. I feel like it's going to be wrong. Yeah, I think I'm afraid of like just messing it up and doing it wrong and having to redo it. So I'm just like struggling to even get started, because I'm like, doubting myself every second. I'm like, I this is probably not how other people would do it, yada, yada. So I'm having a hard time with perfectionism for sure. Doing my own thing, which is such a weird place to be, because I used to only do things my own way and didn't care how other people were doing it, because I was just so adventurous, and I've just really like become afraid to let that part of me out.
Okay, this is a really good request. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and transparent with where you're at and honest too. So I really appreciate that you are asking for support around this day. So let me just repeat back what I'm hearing you say. Okay. So I'm hearing you
Okay.
say that you're experiencing procrastination. And this is when you're sitting down to work on your modules for your one-to-one program and sales page. And I'm just assuming just like working on your one-to-one program in general, right?
Yeah, just anything dealing with like coaching business stuff, like, yeah, especially anything that has mental work where I have to create it from scratch, which is like everything basically.
Okay, so what I have in my notes here is you're feeling procrastination, you're feeling mental and creative blocks, you're feeling heaviness, overwhelm, anxiety, self-doubt. You don't believe that you can do this right now. You think you're going to mess it up, that it's going to all be wrong. You're going to have to redo it. Your perfectionist side is coming out. Then you want to look at what other people are doing for guidance, but it seems like that's kind of maybe messing with you as well. And an important thing I heard you say is you used to do things your own way. You used to feel like you were really adventurous, but you're afraid to let that side out. Is there anything that I missed?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. And then what would success look like for you by the end of our session today?
Success would look like if I could not feel overwhelmed whenever I think about working on coaching stuff, or at least drop it down multiple notches.
So not feel so overwhelmed when working on coaching stuff. Okay, so
Yeah.
I know you're not sitting down and working on coaching stuff right now, but are you experiencing or feeling any overwhelm just by talking about all of this?
I definitely notice like heaviness in my chest as I'm talking about all of this, and tightness in my throat.
So I know you're a hypnotherapist as well. I have an exercise, a hypnotherapy exercise for this that hopefully we can get some more clarity and answers as to why you're feeling this. Are you open to doing that at this time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and close your eyes. And if you can, try to connect with the ground somehow, either sitting on the ground, your feet on the ground. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Start to tune into your breath and relaxing deeper and deeper with each breath. Letting your breath slow down. Knowing that you are in control here, you are very safe to go as deep as you want to go today to get these answers from your subconscious brain. And continue to let waves of relaxation wash over your whole body with each inhale and exhale. And Heather, I want you to create a safe space in your mind. So maybe this is a space that you've been to before or one that you create in your imagination, but I want you to go there now. And this is a space where you feel like you can relax, you can let go, you're not worried about anything, you're protected. Can you describe that safe space for me, Heather?
Yeah, it's a lily pond, a beautiful nature spot. It's really lush and green, and it's a space that during my awakening, my friends and I actually created this space to go to together. So it's very, I have a very emotional connection to it. So I'm feeling tears coming,
Yeah.
just going there. So it's a place I feel really safe.
It's beautiful. And in this safe space, you're allowed to show emotion. You're allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to fully be yourself. And at any time during our session today, Heather, if things get too intense from past memories or feelings, you're always welcome to go back to your safe space to regroup and calm yourself. And now I want you to imagine walking down a hallway where there's lots of beautiful colored doors, beautiful rug underneath your feet. You're walking down this hallway and you're going to land right in front of the door that is the entrance to your sacred healing space. So a little bit different than the safe space. This is where it's safe for you to start to do the work today, to heal, move past these triggers and fears and feelings. So I will count down from 3 to 1, and you will find yourself in front of one of these doors for your sacred healing space. 3, 2, 1. Can you describe the door that you're in front of right now?
Yes, it's yellow, like a bright yellow, and it's like a wood door that's been painted yellow. It's very artistic.
Beautiful. So go ahead and open that yellow door and step into your sacred healing space, closing the door behind you. Can you describe your sacred healing space to me right now, Heather?
It's very bright. There's a lot of sunlight in there. It's made of, seems like the walls are made of windows. So there's a lot of sunlight coming in, a lot of nature outside of the room. And there's a lot of plants inside the room. And it's like an oasis. It's almost as if there's no disconnection from the outside to the inside. It's just like a continuation. So there's a lot of like plants and moss and greenery inside the room as well as outside around the space. There's water.
Okay.
In the middle of the room, like a little small little pool.
So I want you to get comfortable. Maybe you're seated on the ground or seated on a piece of furniture, whatever feels best for you. And I want you to give permission to your subconscious brain to open up and release the answers that's needed for your conscious brain today. And when you're ready, I just want you to say, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. So I want you to imagine sitting down at your desk or in front of your computer, wherever you decide to work on your business. And you're starting to dive into writing the words for your sales page. You're writing the words for your module and you're creating the video. You're working on your course and your program for your one-to-one clients. So as you're going through this in your mind, what feelings or sensations are coming up for you in your body right now as you're doing this?
I'm actually feeling playfulness and excitement.
What do you think changed from earlier when we were talking about feeling overwhelmed and heavy and perfectionism? What's different now?
It feels like it's the environment that's different. Being in this space that I've created in my mind to be whatever I want it to be. I feel freedom in that, and my inner child feels really fulfilled and happy. And so I feel completely able to move forward on those assignments, and I actually feel excited and playful about it.
That's good. So, how do you think you could create a similar type of experience for yourself this week when working on the mental stuff for your business?
Well, I can visually go back to this healing room, and to my safe place as well, um, and see if that helps shift things. And then also, uh, I can work on creating some sort of little oasis in my own home, my own space. It's a little challenging living in an RV because it's small and cluttered, and and I think it's the environment that makes it hard for me to work.
Mm.
So as it's getting nicer outside, I think that perhaps I can go outside in nature, because that's where I really feel my creativity come alive. So I think that would be helpful.
So, what is it that you want to commit to then moving forward after our session today?
I want to commit to mentally shifting my environment and working with that more, and also getting out in nature more.
Is there anything else that we need to address or cover before we end our session today?
I think that feels complete.
Okay. So just remember that you will continue to manifest and heal from the things that we talked today, and answers will continue flowing to you after our session today. And I'm going to start to bring you back to the present moment as I count down from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, coming up more to the surface. 2, returning back to the present body and situation. And 1, you can open your eyes, release your hands down by your side. Take a nice deep cleansing breath in. If you want to do a little stretch, you can. Let me just text my next client really quick, and I'll just let them, we're going to go over just a little bit.
Okay.
And I want to hear about what came up for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that didn't go in the direction that I thought it was going to. I thought we were going to have to do all this step into your past and figure out, maybe where the emotions were coming up. And I have this whole hypnotherapy exercise I usually go through. But, the thing with coaching is you dance in the moment and step away from expectations. And it sounds like you actually got some clarity and solutions towards what would work for you. And it sounds like maybe it's like changing the environment that you're working in. So tell me a little bit more about what came up for you during that exercise. What realizations?
Yeah. Well, it was just, being in, because the healing space, the healing room was just like so nature filled and beautiful, and like peaceful and calm. And, with it being winter here, I'm kind of confined inside of this small space, this RV. And, I have windows to look outside, but like I need to be a nature kind of person. So it's so hard for me to be stuck behind walls. Um, so, and then to try to create without the inspiration that I gain from being in nature. So yeah, whenever it's warmer out, I eat outside, I go outside to write, I go outside to meditate. I pretty much live outside, and then like just sleep, in the RV. So it's quite a different space. So, and my creativity flows a lot more easily, because I'm inspired by, the sunset or the birds or the squirrels walking around or the water moving, or I just find inspiration everywhere. So I think it's just challenging to feel inspired inside of a confined space. I think that's what my biggest issue actually has been. And I know I've sensed that, so I've tried to like keep my space clean and organized as much as I can and keep plants in here. But it's just like we haven't finished remodeling, so some parts of the RV are just like not attractive to me, and so it's like 1990s decor. So it's like that kind of dampens my creativity.
Yeah. Wow. This
Yeah.
sounds like a huge breakthrough then, of realizing that maybe when you're having a mental and creative block and having these overwhelming, feelings and everything, heaviness, that maybe it's, needing to change up the environment. And it sounds like also nature is a huge part of that as well, to keep you inspired and feeling good.
Yeah, thank you. That was really helpful, actually, because I thought it was also going to be something way deeper and past. And yeah, like it's really nice that I felt such relief just stepping into a really beautiful room.
And, I always like to say too that a lot of times our biggest breakthroughs might come after the coaching session as well, when you have some space
Yeah.
to think and process. So if later tonight or tomorrow or this week you're like, oh, this came up and this came up, you can always message me on Voxer and we can work through that as well. That's why I think it's so valuable to have that support in between sessions too. So that way, when this stuff does come up, we can figure out if there is any deeper, more emotional work that needs to be done or could be effective.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to hear that you feel like you found a solution for our session today. And like you said, success was not feeling overwhelmed with working on the coaching stuff. So again, can you remind me, like, what is it exactly then that you want to commit to do, or what goal do you want to create around this?
Having awareness whenever the overwhelm comes up, and then I want to commit to using the tools that we use today, like mentally going into taking myself into a different environment, like visually, and to see if that shifts it. And if not, then go out in nature and get some inspiration and come back and work on it. So to just change up my environment, either visually or physically.
I love that. So it sounds like we have an overwhelm protocol for you. And if you,
Yeah.
right, if you start to experience or feel overwhelmed over the next week, especially when working on your business, you're going to change up your environment or you're going to get out in nature. Does that sound correct?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yay. This makes me so happy to
Yay.
hear. And my next question would be, where did you have a breakthrough inside our work today? But I think it's already apparent where you had a breakthrough, and
Yeah.
what you learned about yourself already. So I guess my next question is, what do you think was most useful and valuable for you from today's session?
Just you taking the time to take me through hypnosis session was really useful, really helpful. Just like creating space to just be still, and also to be open to what's really underneath, what's really there. Yeah, I think that was really helpful, because even though I am a like a hypnotherapist, I don't really practice on myself, so I don't really take myself through processes anymore. So it was just nice to actually go in there with you guiding that experience. So,
And, in the past, when I was a newer coach and newer hypnotherapist, I would be scared to do something like that with you, because I'd be like, oh, she's already gone through hypnotherapy training. She's already an expert. She doesn't need me to do it for her. But what I've realized is that, like you said, it's really hard to coach ourselves. It's really hard to do hypnotherapy on ourselves. So like, I have a hypnotherapist for myself. I have coaches for myself. So
yeah.
it's really nice to have that outside person be able to help us work through those things that we're just not going to be able to see or find for ourselves. So I'm really happy that
Right.
you were open to doing that on our session today. And my last question for you is, how can I acknowledge and show gratitude for you today, Heather?
I think I want to be acknowledged for getting module 1 and 2 outlined, because that was pretty huge for me today.
Yeah. Well, I would love to acknowledge you for getting started on these modules. I know that this is a really big deal. This is a really big shift to confidently putting yourself out there and, selling your signature program and being able to help more women with chronic health issues. So yes, these are really big wins right now. You actually letting yourself start to work on these modules so we can start to see this program start to come to life. So yay.
Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you for a beautiful session today, Heather. And I will check in with you in the next couple of days on Voxer. If anything comes up between now and then, just reach out and message me. And I will put all of your commitments that we talked about today on your to-do list.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krista. And I hope you have a great next call with your client.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.